morning, good afternoon, good day. I hope you are all well this week. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, Maslin Museum, for providing this video, this movement. It's a little bit harder sometimes to move in the wintertime. The days aren't quite as long. Our movement is a little bit more confined too, from the standpoint with COVID, staying safe, being smart. So hopefully you all are well. Please, if you've been following these videos, consider a donation to the Maslin Museum. So we'll go ahead and get started. I probably will use blocks today. So if you have your blocks handy, great. If not, please modify. Any pinching or binding, back out of the move and come back to your breath. So let's go ahead and begin. Sitting up tall on our sits bones, finding our breath, setting our intention for the practice and for this next 45 minutes or so of just coming back to the breath. Anything that happened earlier in the day or any anticipated outcomes, let them all be for later. Come back to our breath. So inhaling for 3 counts and exhaling, emptying out all of that air. Noticing as you empty the air out of your abdomen, the belly button goes back towards your spine. Inhaling, beginning, feeling all of that air, and exhaling. Soft gaze. Close your eyes, let my voice guide you through this practice. Taking our hands back, let's switch our legs, sitting up, finding our breath, going through some of those inhalations and exhalations, emptying out all of the belly. We'll start with a forward fold, walking our hands out to the front, walking them, moving them, tiptoeing your fingers, making a tent, folding in, maybe putting your chin on your elbows if that's comfortable for you, as if you're watching TV. Feeling a nice stretch through the sacrum into your lower lumbar. Feeling that nice stretch. Putting your hands down on the floor, coming back up. Taking a cleansing breath, inhaling and exhaling. Let's do that same movement, walking those hands over our right knee, feeling it open up our hip and the left side. So we're going over to the right, walking those hands out, placing those elbows on the floor if it's in and available to you. Looking at those hands over your right knee. Feeling that nice twist, breathing into it for a few breaths. Slowly coming out of that, coming to neutral. Inhale, exhale, and folding over that left knee. Walking those hands out, feeling the nice stretch on your right side, feeling that stretch. Taking your elbows down, placing those hands on the floor, taking that gaze over at those over on the left at those hands. Breathing into that right side with the exhalation. Breathing, coming back up and sitting up straight. And again, just noticing the juiciness kind of in your hips. Taking those legs out straight. Folding forward into a forward fold, just feeling it, going in, and let's come back out. Let's massage that right leg a little bit, patting it all the way down to the ankle, the thigh, the hip, sitting up straight. Let's give the left leg a little bit of hug too. Love it. Hug it down there. Wake it up. Let it know it's going to move a little bit. Let's go cobbler pose. Sitting up straight. Rocking right and left. With the breath, sitting up straight and then folding into the right side and the left side. Nice, feeling that movement. Coming to neutral, taking our gaze down and taking our gaze up. Down and up. Nice. Bringing the left leg out, keeping that leg engaged, bringing the right foot in, right foot in. And let's walk down that leg to the ankle or to the toes. If you can take your peace fingers, grab that big toe, fold into that forward fold. Couple cleansing breaths to open it up. As you inhale, folding a little bit closer forward. As you exhale, coming up a little bit. Nice forward fold. Gently come out of that forward fold, extending your right arm back, almost as if you're a sail on a sailboat. Maybe moving back on your sits bones, playing with this pose, depending on which way the wind is taking you back and forth. Bringing that leg back down. Opening up, taking that gaze towards the right. And let's fold back down over that leg. Unfold, come up. Taking that right leg down, shaking out the legs, folding forward into both legs. Just noticing if you could go a little bit more forward, folding into that forward fold. Maybe you could only grab your knees. Now you can move down into your shins. Breathe into it. One more breath. Coming up, bringing that left leg to the inner thigh. Left leg to inner thigh, sitting up straight. Walking those arms down towards the right leg. Taking a hold of the knee or the shin, folding into that right leg. Slowly coming up, taking your peace fingers of your right hand, maybe around your ankle or through your big toe if that's in your practice. Taking that left arm, opening it towards the left side, taking that gaze to the left. Rocking back on your sits bones, letting the wind take that. Just play with that movement. Play with it, be playful, wherever the wind takes you. And we'll set that foot and that leg down, bending into it. And coming back up slowly. Taking the left leg down to meet the right leg. Folding forward. Taking another nice bend. This is almost like a forward fold, but we're doing it in a seated position. So wherever it's comfortable for your hands to be, as if we're doing just forward folds. And maybe our feet are on the ground. So forward fold, coming up, taking our arms up overhead to prayer, to heart center. Forward fold again, taking those arms up, apart, down towards our feet, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, coming up, taking our arms wide, up overhead to prayer and to heart center. Nice. Let's shake those legs out and we'll move to a tabletop. So moving to tabletop, tucking your toes under. Let's wag our tail before we go up into any downward dogs, right and left. Notice our hands. I'm going to face the camera here as well. Let's point our fingers towards each other. So pointing our fingers towards, rotating from the elbows down, a little bit of internal rotation on our shoulders as well. And let's just rotate clockwise, a little bit clockwise. Adding some movement here. And then the opposite way. Just just a little bit of a variation. Bringing our hands out now, bringing our palms together. So our wrists and our palms are together. And again, just rotating a little bit of movement. Forward, backwards, a little bit of rotation. And then the opposite direction. Opposite balance, a little rotation. Coming up on our knees, let's shake out those fingers and the wrists. So a little bit of a variance. From here, let's place our hands on our hips. Place our hands on our hips. Pointing our toes back, knees about hip distance, taking our shoulder blades, our elbows, pressing them together, doing a little bit of a back bend, taking our gaze up towards the ceiling, opening our heart. Do you guys remember opening our heart? Peace enters. So hearts open. Peace enters, hope. And let's walk our hands, taking our knees apart down into child's pose to release that back. So, child's pose. Coming back up into table. Some cat and cow, tucking that tailbone, extending, tucking, and extending. Breathing through a couple of those movements. Coming back up on our knees, taking that right leg out, taking our arms out to a T, dropping the right arm to the right leg, taking a nice side bend, very nice. Coming back up, bringing our hands to the floor as in table. And again, let's do a little bit of rotating. Let's go clockwise. Still have that leg out to the side. And the opposite direction. So my right leg is out. Again, just opening up that hip, feeling that rotation, bringing that to a halt. Coming up again with our arms out, our airplane. Dropping that left hand on the floor, extending the right arm high. And if it's in your practice, you can certainly stay here, but if you'd like to lift that right leg, please do so. Very nice. Very nice. It's fine to stay here as well. We'll bring that to a close. Bringing both knees together. Let's do some cat and cow. Coming up on our knees again, taking our arms out, taking that left leg out. Dropping that left arm to the left leg. Bending, opening up that right side. Breathing, no holding of the breath. Very nice. Bringing both palms to the floor. That left leg is still out to the side. And let's do a little rotation. Little rotation. Very nice. And the opposite direction. That's it. Very nice. Bring the arms up to an airplane, open them up, dropping the right hand to the mat, taking that left arm up, the left leg can follow, or the left leg can stay on the mat. Either way is fine. Make sure you're breathing, you're not holding your breath. Come back to the breath. Very nice. Bringing that leg in, our arms back up. Let's put our hips on, our hands on our hips to the back. And let's take our gaze for a gentle back bend. Very nice. Coming down into child's pose. Breathing into that child's pose. Slowly coming up. We'll push into our first downward dog. Taking our knees off the mat, tucking our toes under, pushing through our shoulders, finding a nice extension in our hips. Walking those feet out, walk them out. Be gentle, get a nice extension through your arms, through the back, lifting the hips up to the sky. Very nice. Let's take the right leg out to the right. So we're kind of doing a triangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my right hand to my left shoulder. And we're just going to take one breath here. Put that hand back down. Move that foot back in. And then take the left foot out to the side. Left foot out to the side. Left arm to right shoulder. A little bit of a variation. Bring both hands down, both legs together, down to the knees, down to child's pose. Coming back up. Pushing into downward dog. Walking those hands and feet together, forward fold, bending, and we'll slowly come up to a standing position. So we're in a standing position. I'm going to encourage you, we're going to do a little bit of wall work today. And I'm going to encourage you, I've cleared out my things from the wall here. And we're going to do just a little bit of wall support work. And this is something you can come back to as well. So find someplace on the wall where you have a little bit of room that you can explore. And the first thing we're going to do, and we'll do it on both sides. So once you have a good idea of what we're doing on one side, we'll switch sides. But take your right foot forward, up the wall, taking your toes up the wall. So we're getting a little bit of stretch on our toes as well. So with that, and then let's walk our hands up the wall. Walk our hands up the wall. And so we're getting a nice shoulder stretch. Nice shoulder stretch. Let's bend that right knee. So I'm bending the right knee towards the wall. And now I'm feeling my stretch as a runner stretch in the back of my calf of my left leg. Again, having my arms up the wall, stretching into this, stretching up the wall. I'm going to straighten that leg, come down, and step back. Shake that out. We'll do it on the other side now. So, taking my toes, taking them up the wall, both legs are straight. Take my arms up the wall, bend the left leg, so I'm getting a nice stretch. Walk your fingers up the wall, walk them up the wall. Maybe your forehead even goes on the wall. Maybe your forehead goes. Feeling a nice stretch on the back of my right calf. Very good stretch. Very nice stretch. Coming out of that, straightening that front leg, moving the hands down the wall, and stepping back. Shaking that out. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Now, we're going to step probably about, maybe a foot length away from the wall. Lean back into the wall. And so you have maybe 12 inches. 12 inches. The wall's supporting you. Make sure you're on a surface that you are not going to slip. So please take your shoes off. Make sure you have your mat under you or something. And we're going to lean forward. Leaning into the wall, leaning forward, leaning into the wall, leaning forward, and just see how far we can go and just hang. Hang. You could take a hold of your elbows, or you can just hang your hands and just hang. Feel that sensation of just letting yourself yield to the weight. Slowly bend your legs, coming up against the wall, and slowly push yourself up, walking closer to the wall. Shake those legs out, shake those legs out. We're going to walk again about a foot away from the wall, the wall's supporting your back. Make sure that you have good support so you're not slipping. And we will go down into a seated position. Nice seated position. Hold it, and then let's push up. Very good, very good. Let's do this 2 more times. Ready? Make sure you're not holding your breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Nice breath. Move it back up. Okay, one more time. Inhale. Exhale, down. Arms go up. Find a breath. And push back through. Very good. Moving back to the wall very safely. Shaking out those legs. Really nice leg work. Got a little bit of resistance with the wall. Nice leg work. Coming back to our mat. Let's do a forward fold and see how different that feels for us. You know, we did a seated forward fold. We did one at the wall, and now it's taking our arms up, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Let's play with this a little bit, see where we are. Can our hands go to our ankles? Can they go to the floor? Rocking back and forth. Halfway up. Forward fold, exhale, bending the knees, coming up, hands overhead to heart center. Very nice, very nice. Get my mat straightened out here a little bit. So let's do a tree. We'll do some tree work, tree poses. It's fine to be right here in your tree. If you want to use the wall that you're close to, feel free to use the wall. Don't put your ankle or your arch of your foot on your knee. Keep it either on your shin or move it up to the inner thigh. Okay, find your drishti, your focal point, and don't hold your breath. Make sure that knee is open. Push towards the back wall or the back of the room, and we'll come out of that. Whew. Let's do the other side. Finding your focal point, focusing, opening up that knee, and taking your arms out. For some reason, today's one of those days that I'm not having a lot of balance luck. The world is spinning and I am moving with it. Okay, coming down, coming down. Okay, let's just scan our body. Take your toes, lift them up and lower them. Scan towards the back of your feet, up your ankles, through your legs, your hips. Feeling how different you felt versus maybe 15 or 20 minutes ago. Let's take our arms wide, give ourselves a hug. I think during this pandemic, that's one of the things I missed the most, is hugging my kids, hugging my friends. I'm a hugger. Lifting and lowering those elbows, taking them wide, putting the other one on top, whichever one was on the bottom, lifting and lowering, hugging. Nice. Taking them wide. Okay, we'll find ourselves back down on the mat. Let's bring our knees in, rock back and forth. Just rock gently back and forth. Maybe taking our gaze to the right and the left. Taking our arms out to a T, let's find a seated position, 90-degree angle. Dialing those legs to the right, holding them, holding them. Nice. Bringing back to center. Let's dial those knees to the left. Holding, don't hold your breath though. Bringing them together, taking them down to mat distance apart. Dial your right knee in and your left knee down. So your legs are dialed to the left, the right knee by your left foot, left knee on the left side. Opposite way, dial your left knee towards your right foot, pushing into the ball of your left foot, really pushing to get that knee down towards that right foot. Let's do this back and forth. You can take your gaze to the left or the opposite way as your knees are dialing. Very nice. Just rocking them back and forth. Next time we're in the center, bringing the right leg up into the air, and let's just lift and lower. Lift and lower. We're going to take our left hand behind our right knee. Left hand behind the right knee, and just hold that leg in, stretch it in a little bit. So it's kind of a counter. We're using our left arm to manipulate our right leg, bring it a little bit forward. And let's shake that out and bring it down. And our left leg goes up. And let's lift and lower the left leg, lift and lower. And then bringing the right hand up behind that left leg to manipulate it a little bit, pull it in maybe a little bit closer. Make sure you are breathing. Nice stretch, really nice stretch. Bringing that foot down, bringing the heels of your feet together. Heels of your feet together. Knees splayed open. Taking arms overhead. Taking the legs long, bringing those feet down to the end of the mat, bringing those toes up into the air. Taking the legs over to the right. Seeing if you could cross that left leg over that right ankle for a little additional stretch. Bringing it back to center. Taking it over to the left side. Nice left stretch. Taking that right leg over the left leg. Bending into that folding. Nice stretch. And back to neutral. Let's hug those knees. Curl up into a little ball. Extend those legs and those arms slowly overhead, stretching those feet, stretching through the heels, flexing the feet. Let's curl up into a little ball again. Curl up into a little ball. We'll get ready for Shavasana, extending, straightening those legs. Coming into your corpse pose. Any final movement. Taking those feet about hip distance apart, splaying them open. Palms up, shoulders tucked under. Coming into your restful yogic practice. If if any thoughts come through your mind, push them out as if it's a movie. And you're on to the next scene that's called your breath. When you are ready, you could start moving your fingers or your toes. Start bringing some movement back into them. As if you're waking up for the first time. Rolling to the right side or the left side. Taking a couple cleansing breaths. And ever so slowly putting your right arm and forearm on the mat. Moving that top leg down the mat, slowly coming up to seated position. If you feel like you need a little bit more Shavasana, please feel free to stay on your back with your eyes closed. Thank you for joining me today for our yoga journey. Be safe, stay safe, keep moving. Let's take our arms wide, encompassing all the hope in the world. Hands to prayer and to heart center. The teacher and student in me honors the teacher and student in each and every one of you. Thank you. Namaste.